Namaste, Prakash here. There's a very interesting story in Mahabharata which unfolds something like this. It's a very important moment, and Sahadev, one of the Pandavas, asks Lord Krishna for a specific favor. And Lord Krishna says that this will not be possible for me to do. And Sahadev says this is very important that this needs to be done and I need you to do. He says, please do not dictate terms to me, I will not be able to do. And then Sahadev looks at Lord Krishna and says, Krishna, I know your plans. I know exactly what you want to do. But if I decide, I will ensure that the Mahabharata war will not happen. Lord Krishna actually is very intrigued, so he actually gets sort of angry or fakes an anger and says, Sahadev, you are challenging me. It's not going to happen. I'll ensure that things will go as per my wish. Then Sahadev says, Lord, you are underestimating my capacity. So Lord Krishna says, what are you going to do? He says, I know how to meditate and lock you inside my heart so you will not be able to move. And once I do that, you will not be available outside for you to unfold your plans. And Mahabharata war or anything that you intend will not happen like that. And immediately Lord Krishna smiles and says, Sahadev, please don't do it. Nature's plan has to go on. I'll give you what you want. And then apparently Sahadev extracts a promise of keeping the Pandavas, Draupadi and the clan available, alive after the war is over. That's how things go. And that's what unfolds at the end of the war. There's a very big learning for all of us in this. One of the things that I keep coming across when I tell people to meditate, they ask, Prakash, is such a waste of time. Half an hour, 1.5 hours a day. I'm just sitting and then closing my eyes and doing. Maybe there is some change happening, maybe it's not happening, but don't you think this 1.5 hours that we are investing is going to be much better used if I do some work? You think just by sitting there and closing my eyes, things can change? Then I ask them one of the questions, is the power of invertendo or power of real meditation is in doing less and getting more. When I take corporate sessions where I talk about doing more in less, people always think it's an oxymoron or a paradox. They laugh saying it's not going to happen. So I ask them, irrespective of which faith you belong to, how did the creation happen? Other than the Big Bang theory, people always say that finally it all started with a thought of the God, saying, let there be creation or let there be light. Or if you look at heartfulness, the Shob, the original Shob, which went on to create, and it is still going on. It's almost 15 billion years since creation first happened, and we are still expanding young universe. Imagine the potency of that thought. Does it mean that the potency of my thought is the same as the Lord's? It is potentially possible, but not necessarily. So how do I make it happen? Imagine, in a meditative state, what is that you are actually doing? You are getting Lord to be in unison, in osmosis with you. And in such a deep thought, when you are in perfect osmosis with the Divine, don't you think that what you generate as a thought or what gets generated as a thought at that time would exactly unfold the way in which Divine itself has thought about it? The power of meditation is something which the world is yet to completely experience. It's the game changer today in the world. If all the challenges that we are facing, all the pandemics we are facing, all the lack of peace and lack of happiness, lack of unity, all these things will have to happen. As Daji beautifully mentioned in the International Day of Yoga talk, I am immunity. It provides that immunity. When we are all united together in His thought, and then allow His thought to work through you, what else can God think for you other than something which is good, which is part of nature? The way Lord Krishna was ready to mend a bit of what was supposed to unfold because of the meditative power of Sahadev. Imagine what is possible that if we all meditate together for a common cause, whatever the cause may be, a positive cause. Imagine the impact. Meditation is the only tool, though at this point of time science may not completely agree with it. It is the only tool where the input is the least and the output is maximum, almost bordering close to what you would call as an infinity. Each and everyone, when they experience this, they will understand what really meditation can do to change the world and hence the future of the world itself. And hence designing the destiny is possible. Of course, doing is essential. We have to get out and do what we initially think. But when the thought gets guided from within, from the highest source, you will learn the perfect art, the art where you really perfect the way of doing more and more and more with less and less and less, to an extent where your input is close to zero and the output is as big as infinity itself. Isn't it something worth thinking about? Thank you.